deliciouses. I don't know why I'm so happy. I guess it's because of the holidays and I'm in a holiday mood. So today we're making some mushroom Wellington, mock beef Wellington, whatever you want to call it. But it's absolutely delicious. It's electric. Oh my god. I can't wait for you guys to see this recipe. So the trick to making a dope Wellington is in creating a nice fluffy dough. 2 cups of white spelt flour. We're going to input half a teaspoon of grapeseed oil. Put that all around. We're also going to input some dill weed, because you know I love to have some herbs in my dough. Some sea salt, just to give the dough a nice flavor. We're going to sprinkle some of that in there. A few dashes of oregano. 1/4 teaspoon of agave. Just to add a little bit sweetness to our dough. We're going to put some cayenne. And like I said, these spices are completely optional. I just love to add another level of flavor into my mix. And we're all done. So we're going to pulse all the dry and some of the wet ingredients together. Pulse for a few seconds. And then we are going to gradually input our Perrier water. This Perrier water helps the dough get nice and fluffy. It puts a bubble in the dough. So we're going to gradually input our Perrier water. You can use spring water if you like. And you're going to stop when the dough is formed. In a matter of seconds, your dough is completed. All right. You can do this by hand if you like. This is our dough. It's nice and gooey. I'm going to transfer our nice gooey dough into a pan. So we're going to pop this in here. So after we have made our dough in our food processor, it's time to knead it. So to knead a dough is basically you're just adding additional flour into it, and you're just making sure that all the ingredients are fully incorporated. All right, so I have kneaded my dough for approximately 10 seconds. You don't need to do it as much because the food processor basically did all the work for you. So this is what my dough looks like when it's done. It's nice, soft, and fluffy. Oh my god, it just feels amazing in my hands. All right, so we're gonna let this sit for approximately 30 minutes while we get our filling started. So we're gonna cover this nicely. We are going to put this in the refrigerator as well so it can rise as much as it can. I suggest you use different types of mushrooms. So I'm going to add, well, I already added portobello. I'm also going to add some organic button mushrooms, some white button mushrooms. You can add whatever mushrooms you like. I'm going to add a little bit of scallions, just a few, and some cilantro. With some sun-dried tomatoes. This is approximately 4 cups of walnuts in here. And we're going to pulse all of this goodness. Remember to continuously stir so everything can be pulsed evenly. So this is what your mixture should look like after you have pulsed the mushrooms and walnuts. Doesn't this look like ground beef? This is like absolutely amazing. Cut up some fresh mushrooms to add in as well. The reason why I'm going to add extra mushrooms is because I love the different levels of texture that's made when you use the food processor and you finally chop it yourself. All right, so put a teaspoon of grapeseed oil into the pan. Of course, you need to spread it around so it can be evenly coated. 2 cups of fresh, finely chopped mushrooms, some bell peppers. Well, that'll be a 4th cup of bell peppers. You're also going to input some red onions to your mix. We're also going to input your walnuts and your pulsed mushroom mix as well. We're also going to sprinkle a little bit of sea salt. And when you add the sea salt to the mix, you're basically trying to get rid of the excess water from the mushrooms, along with seasoning it. So the trick of creating a dough Wellington is to saute the mushrooms, because since the mushrooms carry a lot of liquid, once you eliminate the liquid, then you won't have a soggy Wellington. And when I tell you guys, this kitchen is smelling amazing. Oh my God. To add some more of our spices to our mixture, we're going to add a few dashes of cayenne, half a teaspoon of oregano, put a 1/4 teaspoon of savory, 1/4 teaspoon of agave for sweetness, some fresh thyme, well, some French, not fresh. You can use fresh thyme as well. We're going to continue to let this cook down and get all the excess water out of the mixture. You can also input a 1/4 teaspoon of tamarind concentrate, and this just adds that nice flavor to it. It's like a soy replacement, like a soy sauce replacement. We're also going to add a cup of garbanzo beans to the Wellington. You can use spelt berries, kamut berries. This is basically your binder for your Wellington. So I'm just going to pause this for a few times. See what your mixture should look like. You can make it smoother if you like, but I like to add a little crunch to my Wellington as well. I'm going to also add this mix into our mushrooms. Mix this together. And the reason why I am mixing it in here is so that the extra liquid can also evaporate from the chickpeas as well. And now is a great time to taste your mixture and make sure it's to your liking. So I'm going to taste this for spices and make sure it has enough. This is tasting amazing. Turn the heat off because most of the water has evaporated. To make this mixture cling together a little bit more, you're going to add 1/2 cup of garbanzo beans flour. You can use whatever flour you like to act as a binding agent, but I'm going to use garbanzo beans because I love the flavor it adds to our mix. So I'm going to eyeball this. I'm just going to add a few in at a time. Stir this around to see how much I may need, just in case if I don't need all that much. I'm going to mix this in. You want your mixture to be very clammy, and the garbanzo beans flour is definitely the best binder in my opinion. I'm going to add the rest of my flour in. Mix it all together. And you see, all the mixture is clamming together so nicely. And this is exactly what you want, because when you make that loaf, you want it to stick together. I think this is good enough for me. I'm gonna let this cool down a little bit more, and it's time for me to roll out my dough. Generously flour your surface, because you're gonna roll this dough out to make the puff part of it. So I'm gonna add some little bit more spelt flour on top. Again, you can make this mixture with whatever with whatever flour you desire. I'm gonna press it out a little bit. This dough is feeling so amazing. Oh my God. So I'm gonna grab my rolling pin. Also, don't forget to flour your rolling pin as well. So just doesn't stick. So you're gonna continue to roll this out. Your mock beef mixture into a loaf pan and just makes a lovely meatloaf. If you want to omit this step. Either way, it's gonna be absolutely delicious. All right, I'm going to flip my dough just to make sure it's not sticking to the surface. All right, I'm gonna make it a little bit wider. And you are going to make this very thin. Unless you like a lot of pastry on your Wellington. So you wanna make a nice rectangular dough. You wanna make sure that it can fully coat your stuffing. After your topping is cooled down, it's time for you to put it into your dough. For another level of goodness, I am going to input some wild strawberry fruit spread on top of this because it's Christmas time, and instead of using cranberry sauce, and since it's not approved, we can use a nice fruit spread just to add another level of flavor to this. You're just gonna briefly put just the layer on top of your meatloaf. And now it's time to close it. So you want to be very careful with this step. So you're just going to wrap the top. Some of our lovely homemade aquafaba. This will be coming up soon. And this basically acts like a binder. So when you close it, it can actually stick together. You're just going to put a little bit of aquafaba. If you have some hemp seeds, milk, you can put hemp seeds, milk, and olive oil. Excess dough, you're gonna cut it off, and you can save this so you can add leaves or any other extra toppings you would like. And I am just going to tuck this, so wrap one side and then just tuck like so. So I'm going to just tuck this in. Be very careful with the step, guys. Don't want to end up like me. Tuck. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Alright. You're going to line your baking tray with parchment paper. And then you're going to gently, make sure you're very careful with this step. I'm gonna use a spatula to try to scoop this up. Decorate this however you like. Right now I'm just shaping it to make sure it's in an even log shape. So I am not very creative. I'm gonna try to make a leaf out of this. Wish me luck. I'm gonna try my best. If you have a cookie cutter with whatever design you like, you can add it. I'm just gonna roll our dough out so I can add some lovely decorations to our meatloaf. This step is completely optional. Like I said, you know how extra I can be. So I'm just gonna try something different here. Try my best here. And like I tell my students, if at first you don't succeed, try again. All right, so we we have one of our leaves here, which doesn't want to come off. I'm gonna make 3 lovely leaves out of our dough. I tried, okay? Don't judge my leaves. This is what it's gonna look like after you put the lines. The lovely egg wash. Again, you can put some hemp milk, any kind of nut milk you like, so the leaves can adhere to the lovely Wellington. Add a little bit of your egg wash, and you just add your leaves to your meatloaf. Again, a little bit of egg wash, and add it to your meatloaf. This way it can stick together. More of the aquafaba, so you can get that nice glossy feel. You can use a brush. That's probably like the best thing for you to use, but I don't have my brush, so I am going to improvise. This is what your Wellington will look like after you have added your leaves. This looks like a block of goodness. Oh my god. We're gonna add some more incisions into it so it can breathe. Just put your meatloaf can be fully cooked. Doesn't this look amazing, guys? So we are going to pop this in the oven for 30 minutes, and we're going to continuously check on it to make sure it gets fully cooked. And we're doing all of this on 350 degrees. So our 30 minutes is up, and our mushroom Wellington is finito. So this is what your finished product should look like. This looks absolutely amazing. When I tell you guys my kitchen is smelling so good, oh my god, I am amazed. This is awesome. All right, so I'm gonna let this cool down for 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna cut it open so you guys can see how lovely the inside looks. So this is what the inside of the mushroom Wellington looks like. And I can't wait to top it with my gravy. I just took a huge bite. Man, oh man, goodness. Okay, this is absolutely amazing. The top is crunchy but flaky, and the gravy just pairs well with it. You guys have got to try this recipe. Look how amazing that inside is. Doesn't this actually look like a beef Wellington? Oh my god. Guys, I am in heaven. I really can't say much because I just want to dig in. So, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for checking out Nella's Kitchen.